Hello and welcome to the video. This is a video about something that I get asked about quite a bit, which is sometimes you'll see in videos that I actually power things inside the model using the balance tap of the battery, and how does that work and how do you do it? So if that was something you were interested in, this video is for you. Now, the balance tap itself isn't designed to power stuff, really. It's actually designed to be there to allow the charger to monitor the individual cells inside the battery when it's being charged, and also to make sure that every single cell in the pack is up to the ideal charged voltage when you are doing a balance charge. So it's not really designed to allow large currents to be pulled out of the battery like the main connector is. Main connectors on this one is a little XT30, but it's more commonly an XT60 in big parts of the hobby these days. But you can pull a little bit of current out of this along with the battery voltage. So let's talk a little bit about how the wires that are part of the balance tap actually connect inside the battery. So here's the little diagram of how it's all connected. So this is a 3-cell battery. You can see from the 3 LiPo cells connected together, and it's connected in this particular example to an XT60 on the right hand side. Now, the way the balance tap works is that even though this is only a 3S battery, there are 4 wires that come out. There's typically going to be a black one and a red one, and then a number of wires in between. They can either be coloured or they can be black or red, but it's usually obvious which side is which. Now, because these individual pins connect to each side of each cell inside the battery, it means that if you had a 3S battery, if you measured the 2 outside connectors, you would get the full voltage. So if this was a charged 3S battery, you'd get 12.6 volts. So that's a great place to access the flight battery voltage if you can't get to the XT60 because it's already plugged in somewhere else. But if you go down one, still making sure that you have one of the pins connected to the ground or black pin on the balance tap, but if you don't go to the very outside pin, but you go to the next one, so you're looking at connecting to the battery via the blue and black wire in the middle diagram, then you're looking at 2 cells instead. So you'll get 8.4 volts out, and then finally on the right hand side, if you measure black wire and the yellow wire, you're just really measuring the voltage over an individual cell. And actually, as you then measured between the blue and yellow wire, you'd get 4.2 volts again. And similarly with the blue wire and the red wire, you'd get 4.2 volts. So that begs the question, can you then pull different voltages out of the battery? Yeah, you kind of can, but I wouldn't recommend it. Running a flight battery and pulling extra current out of only a couple of cells is going to unbalance the battery. So wherever you can, absolutely just connect to the 2 outside connectors on the balance tap. So let's talk about how you do that and what you need. The connectors that you need to order and get your hands on are the balance plug that's going to plug into the balance connector. This is called a JSTXH, and you can get them from lots of places. I tend to order mine from places like eBay and Amazon, for example. I like the kits that are on places like Amazon, as you get everything you need in one handy box, including with some kits you even get some cheap crimps as well. Now, the one thing you need to confirm is which side of the balance tap is going to be ground and which is going to be the positive voltage. That's going to be pretty obvious on most batteries. The ground is going to be black and the positive voltage is going to be the other side of the balance connector. Triple check that you've got that the right way round. If you're not sure, use a voltmeter on the individual connectors inside the balance tap to just confirm that you've got it the right way. Once you've got that sorted, then all you need to do is solder the power wires for whatever it is you want to connect via the balance tap to the outside pins, carefully matching that polarity. So the ground wire goes to the ground pin on one side, and the voltage wire that you want for the battery voltage goes to the other end. Then you can just cover it with a heat shrink. Once you've done that, then you can plug whatever it is into the balance tap and run it. I tend to use this method to power stuff. Things like FPV backpacks that are built that kind of go from model to model tend to work in this way, and I've also used it for things like battery checkers and low power LED lighting as well. Things that need a lot of power, anything over about 200, 300 milliamps, I'll figure out a way to get it from the main power connector rather than use the balance tap. But for smaller things that don't use huge amounts of current, it should be fine. And that's one of only 2 tips with this, really. First of all is that absolutely don't try and pull too much current out the balance tap. It's not designed for it. And secondly is you are going to have to make sure that the connector that you use is for the right battery. So they come in the size of the battery itself. As we just looked at on the diagram, there's 4 wires on a 3S battery. There's 5 wires on a 4S battery, etc., etc. So you do need to have the JST-XH connector for the right balance tap that you have on your pack. So hopefully that helps those of you that are interested. For those of you that are wondering what that was that I showed in this video, it's actually from a whole modern radio control helicopter series that will be starting soon. One of the videos was me adding FPV to it. I couldn't help myself. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another video soon. Thank you for spending your time today watching that video. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you're trying to learn about a subject, then check out the playlist. All of my videos are organized into easy to follow playlists that if you're trying to learn a topic will take you from the basics right the way through to some pretty advanced stuff.